Welcome to the Beau Show, the home of faith, family, and freedom. Big news just dropped in the major media world, and everyone's buzzing about it. Fox News has parted ways with host Tucker Carlson, and CNN has parted ways with host Don Lemon. These are two huge news personalities, one with a much larger audience than the other, and I will draw distinctions between them and some of the possible reasons for these major departures. Fox News has been a cable news juggernaut and a rival to the left-leaning corporate alphabet and other cable news providers. Roger Ailes was the man who really put them on the map. And from various exposés that we have seen in books and movies, it seems that Ailes was someone who mixed business with pleasure, even using his powerful position to satiate himself. Ailes knew that television was a visual medium, so he stacked it with attractive women, which appealed to the news channel's older male audience. If the allegations about Ailes are true, it seems that the network had a highly sexualized work environment, where ratings mattered more than internal debauchery. Bill O'Reilly was Fox's primo ratings bell cow, but ultimately got pushed out due to a number of sexual harassment allegations and settlements, in which he seemed to use his power as carrot and stick. Many thought that Fox might not survive without him, but they did. And after some time for the dust to settle, he went on to a subscription-based TV model. Former CNN and Fox host Glenn Beck did something similar when he created The Blaze, which is also subscription-based. They incorporated a number of sponsors into this model. So rather than breaking for commercials to fill in the space, O'Reilly or Beck might actually spend airtime personally boosting a product. While the audience might lament this, it is what independents have to do to make money, since they are no longer backed by a conglomerate like Fox News, which has built-in viewers and sponsors. But as cord cutters proliferated, everyone had to get a little more savvy. Older viewers still turned on their television, but younger viewers got their news online and didn't have to watch CNN or Fox. If nothing else, they'd want to catch clips when they could, on their own time, not necessarily in their designated time slot. After O'Reilly and Beck left, newer faces like Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham filled in the void. The roundtable talk show The Five also filled in a primetime slot and became a unique way of delivering the news. Greg Gutfeld from The Five also started doing double duty. Megyn Kelly's departure was also a significant one, perhaps not as much for Fox, but it was her transition to NBC and swift departure there and foray into new independent territory that is a part of her career story. At this point, like Howard Stern when he went to SiriusXM, she can now say whatever she wants and probably feels a large degree of freedom. Kelly still stands as a leading fresh voice in news delivery. And in my view, it was a mistake to let her walk because she was becoming a very trusted voice. Her GOP primary debate exchange with Donald Trump showed that she was pretty fearless. Before we talk about Fox's breakup with Tucker Carlson, we have to set the stage. Fox just settled a lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems regarding allegations of election fraud for $787.5 million. That's a ton of money. This past week, it was announced that Fox had parted ways with longtime contributor Dan Bongino, who also had a Saturday night show on Fox called Unfiltered, which drew over 1 million viewers. Bongino announced last Thursday on his podcast that he was leaving Fox News over a contract dispute and nothing more. He said that there would be conspiracy theories from the left about this exit, and inevitably there have been, but they also came from the right, because this settlement with Dominion has certainly shaken up the entire Fox structure. Bongino was a loud voice when it came to allegations of election fraud. An internal source at Fox told Forbes that his departure was not related to the Dominion defamation settlement. The truth is, we don't know. It might have been a simple contract dispute. It might not have been. Contract disputes happen all the time. But Bongino had a nice-sized audience over at Fox. Some conservatives believe that Rupert Murdoch cutting Bongino is a way of trying to appear more fair and balanced in the aftermath of Dominion, less Trumpy and more establishment. And that leads us to Tucker Carlson. He signed off last Friday saying he'd be back on Monday. He was not back on Monday because Monday morning, Fox announced Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. We thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. That was it. Well, that's similar language to what they said about Bongino. Pretty predictable script. But Tucker didn't get to sign off and say goodbye to his viewers last Friday. He said he'd be back, which signals that something happened over the weekend. So let's look at why Fox might have parted ways with their ratings superstar, Carlson. Carlson had 3 million viewers per night, an incredible viewership that has been stunned by this news. He averaged 3.25 million viewers in March. He blew away any other host on Fox, or any other cable news host for that matter. For Fox to let him go is a magnanimous event. Carlson first joined Fox in 2009 as a contributor and hosted Fox and Friends Weekend before starting a primetime show. He replaced Bill O'Reilly and beat previous ratings superstar Sean Hannity. He had previously worked for CNN, whom I will get to in a bit, but it's safe to say that Tucker was a golden cow for Fox. After the news of Carlson's departure, Fox Corp stock dropped about 4%, almost $1 billion in market value. Many people watched Fox for one reason and one reason alone: Tucker Carlson. He had a way of presenting the news as a voice of reason in an insane climate. He embraced sarcasm to the delight of many of his viewers, often laughing hysterically at guests that had absurdist perspectives. And recently, Speaker Kevin McCarthy released new footage of January 6th to Tucker that, it seemed in some ways exculpatory, or at the very least, a different account of what happened on that day, or so we were told. But here's the rub, really. CNN reported that Carlson was set to be one of the first witnesses to testify in the Dominion lawsuit if it went to trial, even though he was only one of about the 20 or so defamatory broadcasts that Dominion referenced in their lawsuit. Dominion apparently got a hold of private texts between Carlson and other Fox hosts, in which he expressed doubt about the fraud claims and fraud attorney Sidney Powell. He also apparently expressed disdain for Donald Trump. Could it be that Fox let Carlson go as a casualty of the Dominion settlement? Highly likely. But it also could be that Fox pressured Carlson as to what to say on his show or tried to change him. Were they going to pressure him to apologize, even though the settlement required no such apology? Carlson was critical of Fox management, and they don't take too well to that. Carlson was certainly a ratings behemoth, and he provoked his viewers on culture war issues, race, LGBTQ issues, and other controversial topics. One thing is certain: he was never bland. He never phoned it in. He was always at the precipice of a cutting-edge discussion. His critics will say that he's conspiratorial and bigoted and hateful, but his fans will say he's real, honest, logical, patriotic, passionate, and provocative. He also propped up the lackluster streaming app Fox Nation by hosting a show over there. He really was the only reason that millions of people watched Fox News or had Fox Nation. He recently interviewed Donald Trump and Elon Musk, which proved to be both informative and big on the ratings. He tended to march to the beat of his own drum. Did he clash with Fox execs about the content of his monologues? Are the Murdochs and Paul Ryan trying to veer the ship back towards uniparty establishmentism? These are difficult questions to answer because the truth hasn't been revealed.
Keep watching at epochtv.com/The Beau Show.